Ever since she was a little girl, I've always tried to show I cared by giving her the very best.
I know. That's why I went to Bryan Jewelry.
Smart man.
When it's time to ask the most important question of your life, make sure you have what you need to show her you're serious. At Bryan Jewelry, we'll help you through every step of the way to find the right ring for her. We can create beautiful custom designs and also engrave your personalized engagement message. Give her the best. Bryan Jewelry, Prattville.
So let's talk about the boys. Let's talk about being the first female coach to bring a boys team to the Final Four in the state of Alabama. That's a pretty incredible milestone.
Yeah.
I think that's an incredible milestone for the state. It's an incredible milestone for women in the state, but it's a pretty incredible milestone for you personally, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've never, really thought about it, but which Coach Knight, was the first female to coach a boys team in Alabama, and she was actually my assistant coach my senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
So we had a connecting, but just knowing that, because I don't think I found out until like after the game, when we was in the Final Four. Well, no, when we got there, probably somewhere in between there. But it just don't. I mean, it don't oversee just me just doing what I love. That group, that was a pretty good group. Just having, when we first came here, well, just me getting this job, I was about to sit a year out because I had just had my daughter.
Okay.
Well, I was actually on bed rest when I got the call asking if I wanted to take this job, and I was just like, I think I want to, take a break after being on bed rest for 6 months and just getting myself back together. And then I actually called my assistant coach, and my assistant coach being the same guy that's been with me since Lanier when I first started coaching.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, hey, I just got a call, what you want to do? And he was like, why not? So I was like, well, why not? And so just coming over here, a lot of people, think that, okay, what was the respect like of you being a female coach and being with the guys? But I never had a problem with that.
Really?
We came over here, my first go-to was with the senior, he was a junior then, the point guard, D. Smith. And I was just like, hey, you got a problem with this? He was like, nah, I'm just here to, play basketball or whatever. And we just took off from there. Now I noticed times where they realized that I knew what I was talking about. Like I know the game. I realized those moments. But as far as just them respecting me and just allowing me to be their coach, I never had that problem.
Though when I think about it, I would not necessarily expect the kids to have a problem. And I think a problem might even be the wrong word. But maybe the parents.
Just a discomfort, yeah.
Maybe the parents, I think, might be the.
Yeah.
As a parent myself, thinking,
Yeah, that's true.
what does she know about coaching some boys?
Yeah. And then again, too, that goes from generational experience for right now of a lot of people just actually knowing my background.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a parent that really know the game of basketball, that should be your first instinct of actually seeing what that coach have accomplished before judging off of, if it's a male or female. So I think I just had the luck of having those type of parents that, acknowledge my background.
Right.
So.
But you still had something to prove.
Yeah, of course.
You still had something to.
Of course.
To say, okay, look, just because I'm.
Men don't like losing to women.
Very. Thanks for just putting it out there.
I mean, it is what it is. But yeah. So.
And so, do you feel like there was a lack of acceptance among other coaches?
Most definitely. I mean, not that it's a problem with me, but I mean, let's be real. I mean, they would never say that. But I mean, as far as other men coaches, referees, I don't think that. Not saying that they don't like to lose or have a problem with it. I just don't think that they are true with themselves of the passion I have for it, of it not being the same as a guy. So maybe, I don't know. But most definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So then do you see yourself as something of a trailblazer, of a history maker, of a...
For sure. We got to keep the process going with everywhere we've been. Just going from Lanier with just the progress we have from that. I mean, we didn't win a state championship, which they have before, but just coming from those 3 games in 5 years to, making it as far as we did, that was, a history maker for that time being. When I went to Pike Road for girls, being the first team at Pike Road, and they didn't even have a senior class that year, I don't think. Going to the Final Four, I mean, that's a history maker.
Yeah.
And then here, I think that team that went to the Final Four, I think they won the most games in the regular season. So, yeah.
Do your kids understand what a pioneer you are? Or are you just mom that happens to coach basketball?
My two personal
Your
kids?
kids, yeah.
I think my 11-year-old, I think he see it, but he around it so much that, because he kind of like me, like, it's just, he's so nonchalant and just like, okay, I know that's my mom, but it's just something he's used to.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually sat back, because if he actually sat back and realized everything that I've done, his game would be way better. But I mean, he know, because people come to him all the time and just, you know, he's been going back to Florida State since he was a baby.
Oh, cool.
So it's stuff that, you know, he hears, see, and you know, he's just cool.
When you look back over your accomplishments, and especially when you come across other coaches, like you said, men coaches don't necessarily want to lose to a woman. What's your formula? Don't give me any secrets, I don't guess, but what is it that adds up? What elements do you have in your practices? What elements do you have in your team meetings? What elements do you have in just the time that you spend with your students, even away from the court, that add up to success?
Of course, it's different. Each team won't ever be the same, and that's from year to year. So it's no really a specific type formula. It's just the energy. Like I said before, we're a young group of coaches. I always like to bring in guys we're coaching boys, you know, bring in guys that are young, basketball experience, like the two guys that we brought in this year. Both played college basketball. One played professionally overseas as well. And so, you know, with me, I'm a female, of course, but I have to bring somebody in that can relate to them more as a athlete and a guy. You know what I'm saying? So the energy in that, respect goes a long way. It's not all about basketball. We do things outside of basketball. I can't even count how many times we had team dinners at my mom's house or whatever, when we go to team camp, going to the beach, like, you know, it's more than basketball with us. And so just, you know, bringing that family part of everything and just having that bond, that's the formula of winning.
I think one of the toughest lessons I've learned as an adult, and I would love for my kids to learn this now before they become in their 40s and trying to learn it, is that you got to be who you are no matter how anybody else around you behaves. You can't let everybody else's attitude, everybody else's behavior determine how you're going to act or who you're going to be. It's really hard sometimes, I think, to decide, this is the person I want to be. And this is how she handles situations. This is how she acts in different circumstances. So I'm really impressed that you know this already. How did you come to this conclusion? And who are you? Who is the person that you want to be? Who are you? How do you react no matter how other people behave and react and respond around you?
Well, you just said out your words. I always be a leader, not a follower, for one. My go-to is, and we have records and receipts to say, my coaching staff has always progressed. We may have had a bump, but after that bump, we still progress. So that means, I mean, it's no disrespect to anybody else, but that means nobody else can come in and tell me how to do something when something I have is already working and we're working on what we already did to become better. So that means parents, your sister, brother, WSFA, whoever, you know, we can't put trust in somebody else telling us how to run our program. We have to be dominant in what we believe in and what we already worked 9 years ago of how we even got here to continue with our success. So we can't allow outside pieces to come into something that we're already trying to grow ourselves.
Talk a little bit about the difference in the dynamic as a player and a coach. I mean, You had a tremendous amount of success as a player. You had a tremendous amount of success as a coach. But man, those are literally two different sides of the ball.
Yeah. In high school, I mean, I played with, 3 other girls that went D1. So it's, like I said, like if they can understand the fun in it, you know, we don't have to be serious and just every single day. I'm not here to be serious every single. It's a time and a place for everything. But when you come out here and you practice, the more fun you have, the better it is. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to come in every single day just hard, mean, straight to the point. It's going to be miserable. So, I mean, just getting them to understand that, like, it's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of more chances in life where, you know, it's just serious. Now, being goofy all the time, I'm not saying come in here and playing and just, you know, off track. But we just gotta have a good time at doing what we do. We gotta get better, but have fun doing it.
It is life, right? Sports, any sport, but basketball too, can really be a mirror for life when you talk about the challenges, about the ups and downs, about the risk versus rewards. What are some of the biggest life lessons you feel like basketball teaches you?
It's more, just with us being in Montgomery, it's definitely way more than Montgomery. Traveling wise, you get to see the world, you get to just experience stuff on a totally different level. And that's just me, you know, saying going from high school to college. You mature a whole lot. And that's with everything, finances, with just being yourself, I mean, anything that you ever thought life of being, that's an experience that you can mature yourself within. Opportunists, I mean, we can go on and on, just having that ability to explore life in a way more meaningful way.
Yeah. You talked about having team dinners at your mom's house. She's right here in town because this is your hometown.
Right.
How cool, or maybe not cool, maybe this wasn't your plan, is it to come back and make an impact in the place, I mean, literally the same town where you grew up, and you felt an impact.
Yeah, that was my whole motive, especially just with starting basketball camps when I first came from overseas. I literally, when my season ended overseas, I flew in, like flights got delayed. I flew in and had to drive all the way from, I think I flew into Atlanta, and I hosted my first basketball camp in Andalusia, because that's where I was born, to do my first basketball camp. So that was my whole thing from the jump anyway, of just giving these kids opportunities that I had to become who I was and just go to that next level. It really wasn't all about just coaching or, you know, doing that. I realized that I really had a big impact to a lot of athletes here that looked at, you know, my success in going to college, playing the pro, and just giving it to them. It really wasn't going on in Alabama like that. Well, in Montgomery at least, of just opportunities of being seen or getting help to be, you know, a great player. And to this day, from girls basketball players, I got college coaches that call me about girls. I'm like, you know, I don't coach girls no more. But just still being able to be the impact of, you know, just a role model and leading them to making right decisions on going to that next level. And just whatever I can give to them, just to do better than what I did.
Is there some sort of desire to do more coaching?
Have I thought about college coaching? Of course. I mean, if an opportunity presents itself, of course, you know, I'll look into it. But honestly, it was a point where my kids were way more important than that. Just playing D1, I know what it takes to be a D1 coach. And which, not saying that I can't do it, I can most definitely do it, but I like going to football games. I like going to dance recitals. I like being at home in the presence of my kids. So that kind of took me away from it at first. But, you know, with my kids being older now, you know, if it presents itself, of course, I'm definitely going to take a chance at it. But, you know, it's wherever the Lord want me to go, that's where we'll go.
What's been your biggest reward?
My biggest reward, I would say relationships. I would say most definitely the relationships I had since Lanier to, I don't count these guys because we still in the season, but to my my guys from last year with everybody. Like a guy now, we got a guy now that actually quit last year. It was the last area game of the season. Quit off just frustration, other stuff he was dealing with, and just honestly, I really don't know. He come to practice every single day, still to be underneath us, thinking that we gonna be like, why you in our gym? You quit on us. No, you are still a part of what I started, what I put in a team, and a part of what I've been doing all my life. Like, no, stop. That's just something you shouldn't think. So for him to come back and know that he really loved being under our wings and just showing us that we meant something to him, like that's all the accomplishments in the world. Just for you to have quit and you've graduated and then you still come back. So relationships, most definitely.
I think relationships, that's really what makes the world go round, isn't it? But wow, what it says about you to have so many players to come back, not just that one player you just talked about, but to have so many players come back and still talk to you on a regular basis, to leave their children with you. That
headaches every day. But nah.
But man, what an impact you have obviously made in some young lives that is truly lasting. Do you understand what an impact maker you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess it's just so instilled in just my character and who I am that I just think it's just something that I'm supposed to do and that I know to do. So, but yeah, I love it.
I can tell. I can tell. I loved spending this time with you.
Oh,
this was so great.
This was fun.
Thank you. It was a
you.
lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I know you're really busy, so really thank you very much for carving out a whole hour for me. That was great. That was a quick hour. I don't know how it went by so fast.
And to believe coaching was never part of her plan. Courtney Ward's love and passion for the game is probably overshadowed by only one thing: her love and passion for the students who are playing. And whether she decides to take her coaching career to the next level or just keep racking up high school wins, she's determined to keep her focus laser sharp on the game right in front of her. And that's what makes her real.